All right, guys, here she is. The finished product, my big old concrete pad. I'm gonna be going over a lot of information in this video, so let's get into it. All right, guys, here she is. I know you guys have been waiting for this video. So here's the final 3 pads, all pretty much cured now. This one, it's been over a week, so it's definitely safe to drive on and everything, but not fully cured. But you can see the color is all pretty much good now. See, the color turned out pretty nice on all of these. Not too bad. A little bit of discoloration here and there, but nothing too crazy. Got a little sheet here with all my information on it. So I'm just gonna start giving you guys the information. I'm sure you guys are interested in the price, because I know I'm gonna have the title and thumbnail gonna be about the price. So I'm sure a lot of you are interested in that and how I got this so cheap. Well, I'm gonna start with the materials, and it'll bring me to the final price, the actual final price for this thing. So looks like 36 10-foot rebar, which was around all of these numbers. They're not the exact number. I may have just estimated the tax and stuff, so, but they'll be very close. So we're at 36 rebar, 36 10-foot pieces of rebar. That came to approximately $312. Wire mesh, I used 20 sheets of wire mesh. That came to approximately $492. Gravel, 12 tons of gravel, 2B limestone. That was $40 a ton, so $480. Sand, I used 11.5 tons of sand. That was $38 a ton. It came to right about $437. And then the bags of Portland cement, I used 76 bags at right around, I think it was right around $21 a piece. So we're looking at $15.96. You could just round it up to $1,600 if you wanted to. So if you add all that up, pretty sure you get $33.17. So $3,317. And then gas, really didn't use that much gas because my supply yards are pretty close, only a couple miles away. So figure like 2 gallons of gas max per pad, under $100. You could just give the final number $3,400. That's the final price that this actually cost me to do, $3,400. From my calculations, 32 by 21 by 6, because some is a little bit thicker than 6, some of it is 5.5, so I just did 6. So that was 12.5 yards of concrete. So 12.5 yards of concrete plus the wire mesh and the rebar, I got all that for $3,400. Now I know you guys are curious of how I got it cheaper, so I'll go into that here in a minute. Just go over one more quick detail, 2 more quick details. It was about 5 hours of work per pad if you're including everything. So you're looking at about 60 man hours to do this. And then the total weight of materials that I brought here. So I didn't use all the sand and gravel for every single pad, but then I would use my extra for grading and fill and all that. So the total weight of materials was 54,144 pounds. So that's how much gravel, sand, and Portland that I brought here to do this. Right now, I'm actually at only right about $700 it cost me to do this. A reason why I did it this way and have been filming everything and have been ignoring a lot of the comments calling me crazy, because I got this massive pad which would cost, in my opinion, between 15, I think the one dude, someone who commented got it pretty close, somewhere around between 14 and 17,000 this would cost if you got someone to come here and do this. Basically got this $15,000 pad basically for free, because I'm only at 700 right now, but as time goes on, this pad will be 100% paid for, and that's all because of YouTube. If I go down the list and look at how much money each video has made so far, then the total comes to $26.19. So if I'm using the final number as 3,400, including the gas, that would mean my total number for the pad as of right now is like $781. So I was a little bit off, but I wasn't including the gas on that original price. The videos are making money every day. So as time goes on, then this pad will eventually be free. Just another reason why all my hard work was really worth it. I'll show you guys quickly, just in case you don't believe me. I'm right here in my YouTube studio. I'll click on the one video, the One Man Pours Concrete pad. That's the most popular video. And go over to revenue. You can see this one video has made $19.45 since published. So that's just the one video that's done really well. One of the perks of taking the time and filming all this. So realistically, it's all thanks to you guys for watching. So I'm going to take the time here to just officially say thank you to all my subscribers and supporters, everyone who's loyal and watches my videos and leaves comments and all the engagements. I genuinely appreciate it, and I thank all of you. All right, let me go over some of the things I'm really happy with, and it was that I decided to go with a smooth finish. So it ended up being really smooth, really nice. All this nice even transitions. There's a couple little high spots here and there, but for the most part, I got a really nice transition. All the pads, none of them are sticking up higher than the other one or anything like that. These last couple, I wasn't going crazy on the smoothness just because it was getting dark and stuff, and at the end of the day, it's just a floor that it's gonna have lots of stains and stuff on it once I start using it. I wanted to save it for after this video, just because I want it to look half decent for this video. But after this, I'm probably going to start parking my vehicles on it and working and doing stuff. I've gotten some comments about using a concrete polisher and going over all this, and I definitely could do that, but I'm really just not that concerned with the surface and how smooth it is. And like I'm saying, it's really going to get used and abused. One thing that I could possibly do in the future is do some type of epoxy coat over it, or if I really was worried about having like a solid perfect finish over everything, one day maybe I could do that. But yeah, for the most part, I'm really happy with how it all turned out. It's pretty much exactly what I wanted. Don't really have any major regrets, but I'm gonna go over all the little details and minor mistakes that I made that might help out some people in the future. I would say the one big one was not keeping it square. So I did originally beat in 4 stakes and use mason line and get everything the way I wanted it to be, but then it was a long time until I started actually doing the project, so I pulled it up. But I had a line painted on the ground of where I wanted the pad to be, so I thought I could just go based off that. And like I've told you guys, this first pad got a little bit off square, and I had to make it up as I went. So all of these corners now are perfectly square, but I had a little bit of funkiness going on the edge and on some of these lines here. If I were to do it again, I would leave my 4 stakes at the corners with my mason line giving me a guide. It would just make the process a lot easier. Another mistake I didn't even realize until like halfway through, I wasn't sure what was happening, was you can see these little divots in the finished surface of my concrete. Whenever it would rain, this was rusting out. I couldn't really figure out what was going on. There's spots here and there. There's little craters in my smooth finish. That's from the Harbor Freight mixer over there. Those are little orange paint chips that would slowly get mixed into the mix and then find their way to the top. Good way of fixing that would be to just get a bunch of gravel, throw it in the cement mixer, and just run it all around. I would pretty much put it like on every setting, just so it really could get all that orange paint out of the middle. But if any of you are looking to do some really nice finishing work with that mixer, then you're gonna have to keep that in mind. As far as materials go, don't have a lot to talk about that for differences I would do. I just used my truck to get them as close as I could for each pad. The bucket for water, I actually did like using that towards the end. I did 9, 10, 11, 12 that way, and I think they did turn out the nicest color wise. So I was using that 1 gallon bucket of water, fill that up, and use pretty much the exact same amount of water, and then try to keep all my shovels the same. And it seemed to actually give me the nicest mix. So I kind of fought that in the beginning, but at the end of the day, I think that was the actual best way to go about it. Saved me a little bit of time too. The one thing I did plan on doing was cut the joints everywhere where these pads connected, but it looks like I don't really have to be honest with you. So if you guys have followed along, there's rebar connecting all these pads. So I'll show you guys, I've already gotten the cracks that I've wanted. So this is the first pad here. You can see everywhere, it already has a nice hard joint that's cracked all the way along here. And this is exactly what I wanted and expected to happen. This is not a problem at all. This is exactly what I wanted. So you can see all the way over, I have these just pretty much perfect cracks on where the pad is. The whole point of cutting joints is that so when the pads do move, it'll crack where the joints are. But doing these pads one at a time like I did, it seems like I'll be fine with just the way it is. Got some more comments, not a ton, but just some ones that I'm remembering. Was talking about I should be using a bull float, and that's true. Could have went and bought one, but I had that mag float and these pads were pretty small enough for me to reach pretty much the whole thing with the mag float. That straight edge that I use is magnesium, so when you go over it a bunch of times with that straight edge and really work it, you can basically finish the concrete just with that straight edge. And I know it's perfectly smooth and perfectly flat, so I don't really need the bull float for that. I can pretty much do everything with the mag float, but a bull float definitely would not hurt. One big imperfection I had, this is where a little bit, some of the bag from one of the Portland got into my mix, made it to the surface and made this little divot here. So if I want to fix that, I just have to drill that down a little bit further than this, because if you try to just patch that right there, it will just pop out. So if I'm going to drill that down maybe like 2 inches, fill that with concrete, and it'll be good forever. All right guys, I think I covered a lot of what I want to talk about. So now I'm going to go into the future plans. And yeah, I left you guys in the dark about this realistically, because I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. So I've been telling you I'm going to put a metal building on here, and that was a potential plan, but I did this concrete this way just to give me time to make up my mind. Realistically, there may be a change of plans. Still not 100% convinced either way. No matter what I do, I still gonna have to do some foundation work. But what a lot of you guys don't know is that this pad is already on top of a foundation. I recently just got a comment, some guy saying how crazy I was for ripping out the 8-inch pad, because the pad was 8 inches on the edge and that was the footer, and I'm crazy for ripping that out and all this stuff. But dude had no idea. what's actually going on here. The way the original pad was exactly what I said, that 8 inches thick concrete, 2 to 1 inches thick in the middle, all the way around. But underneath that 8 inches of concrete, there is a 4-foot rock foundation. So not the ideal foundation, not how we do it today. It's just rocks stacked up on each other, a lot of fieldstone, sandstone, all that stuff. But it does have a foundation. This pad is on top of that. The one plan I have is to do a block garage, and that would basically just mean digging a footer all the way along here and, you know, pouring a footer and laying block, just because I'm not exactly happy with how this, you know, 1940s foundation was done. I'm not even sure when the original concrete was done, but I don't really like the way that the foundation is, so I would be redoing it if I go that route. And it would be basically butted up against the rock foundation, so it would be pretty much a double wide foundation. It would be really, really strong. And then I would lay my block garage, because laying block is what I do for a living. So I could do all that very cheap, very efficiently. And block is a lot better than a metal garage. I could actually end up doing it for right around the same price. It's just a lot more work. Either way, I have to do more work to this, but that'll be something that I do in the spring. I'm done for now. I got lots of time to think about everything and get everything straight. Yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. That's the plans. That's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. Hope you guys enjoyed this series. I'm gonna have more concrete series on this channel, so don't go anywhere. But I have lots of videos planned. I'm behind. I wanted to get this done before I start making any other videos, just because I know you guys were waiting on this. Got lots to do, and yeah, I'm really happy with the Harbor Freight mixer. Can't believe I got all this done. If I were to do this again, if I'm going to do another project with that same mixer, I might even go buy another one and just have it just in case this one ever breaks, because who knows how long this one will last, because I did a good bit of work with it. Might buy another one just to have as backup. We'll see. Another real quick thing I wanted to address. One of the reasons why a lot of people were giving me a lot of criticism was because how much work this was and how much easier it would be to just get a concrete truck here and deliver the concrete. And while you're right, in a way, you cannot get a concrete truck close to where this is. So it would be a lot of work moving the concrete back and forth, and a lot more work for me at a time in a day. I would need help. It just opens up a whole nother can of worms. So I'm just really happy in how I did all this. Hope you guys enjoyed. That's a wrap on the big concrete project. There's gonna be a lot more on this project in the spring. Probably won't be doing too much until then. So yeah, hope you guys have a great day. Peace.